the whole rig would explode.
You see how strong you are.
Go for it and challenge yourself.
My heart was like boom, boom, boom.
I do it because I love to do it.
Всем привет! С вами Анна Нефтяна и канал Work. Как дела? Хорошо. Сегодня мы поговорим о нефтянке. Сейчас нефтяной бизнес переживает один из самых тяжелых кризисов за последние десятилетия. На фоне пандемии коронавируса и несостоявшейся сделки ОПЕК цены на нефть рухнули. На мой взгляд, из этого нет быстрого выхода, но тем не менее уже наблюдается положительный тренд. Мы поговорим с вами о том, каково это работать в столь важной для экономики страны индустрии. Однажды я спросила свою подругу, которая не связана с нефтяной отраслью, как ты представляешь себе процесс добычи нефти? Она ответила, буришь отверстие в земле и качаешь оттуда нефть. То есть, с одной стороны, этот процесс может показаться банальным, но при этом это одна из самых инновационных и высокотехнологичных индустрий в мире. Поговорим об этом с двумя девушками. Николь приехала к нам из Чада. Она работает около года в нефтесервисной компании на должности полевой инженер.
I'm not the boss yet.
I see.
Not yet.
Сиамара приехала из Венесуэлы и недавно отметила свое десятилетие в нефтяной индустрии.
I don't know any other business other than that. This has been my whole career.
Как же работается девчонкам в Европе, в поле и в офисе? Сегодня мы это узнаем. Николь, nice to meet you. How are you today?
Nice to meet you, Anna. I'm good.
Расскажи, почему ты выбрала нефтегазовую сферу?
I have chose the oil and gas sphere because it's a well-paid industry. First, it's diverse, and then I can travel the world.
I am in the oil and gas business for 10 years now. Actually, I graduated and then I started in the oil and gas business. I don't know any other business other than that. This has been my whole career, basically.
I started my career in Norway as a trainee. It was really nice to move from Chad to Norway. It's like 30 degrees and minus.
Yeah, it's a big contrast.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this oil and gas sphere?
I remember when I was studying at school, I had the opportunity to do an internship in a oil and gas company in Venezuela. This is when I decided, yes, I'm going to work for an oil field company. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is amazing. I am a manager in the operation side. I cover Europe West. I have around 30 people reporting to me, another 30 to 40 contractors. My day-to-day is making sure that we get all the equipment and all the personnel that we need, and then we deliver the job, and safely. It requires a lot of stakeholders that I have to check with asset planning, that I have to check with personal planning, that I have to check with HR. All these stakeholders all work for one mission only, which is for me to deliver this service. So it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. You're always on call. You have to direct basically all these people. So it's quite a lot.
We are the one testing the well, like the potential of the reservoir.
The customer needs this information for the future estimation of how much he can get from the reservoir.
Yeah, he needs to know how much his reservoir will cost. Of course, when you're trying to invest on something, you need to know how much you will gain, right?
It's very responsible and challenging role.
Very challenging, because you cannot make a mistake. We are as good as the data we provide.
Most challenging part of this position as a manager is influencing people. You have to make sure that they are motivated, that they are engaged, that they want to work for you, because you are the face of the company for some of them. So you have to be an example, and then so to keep this up every day is quite tough. I was in the field for 9 years. I worked in South America, I worked in Africa, I worked in the North Sea, Scandinavia, and in Europe and Middle East.
Были какие-то опасные моменты в течение твоей карьеры?
I clearly remember one time that I was on a semi-sub and they rang the alarm for that something is going, there is a fire, kilometers away from shore, and then I was awaking at the middle of the night with this alarm. I opened the door of my dorm room and it was all completely full of smoke. I was like, oh, this is terrible. There is a fire somewhere. So
And where to run? You are in the middle of the sea.
We stood outside for some time until the fire got controlled. You see how strong you are on those conditions. Mm-hmm. I remember in Venezuela, it was very, very remote locations. I remember seeing 3 snakes
waiting for your location.
waiting for me on one, all rolled up on one of the valves, and then we had to rig up right on top of it. And I was like, oh. And in Norway, the fun stuff is the cold is very, very, very cold and very windy in January.
The funny stuff
February.
is that it's cold.
It's
not actually
funny. The challenging part is just, your hands completely freeze and then you cannot move your fingers.
I absolutely understand what you're talking about.
So,
I used to rig up and work in minus 46 in Siberia. Mm-hmm. It was a New Year celebration, actually. Помимо интервью о профессиях, на моем канале также будет рубрика «Иностранцы о России». Мы узнаем, что все эти люди разных профессиях знают и думают о русских. Как вы думаете, в таком открытом мире, в котором мы живем, существуют все еще стереотипы о русских? Пишите ваши вопросы и догадки в комментариях.
It's the best Russian accent.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Может быть, были какие-то такие опасные моменты на протяжении твоей полевой жизни?
Yeah, I was on a rig and they had like a failure and I was scared. I was so scared.
Why? What was the potential consequences?
The whole rig would explode.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was stressed, like so stressed, like everyone on the rig was stressed. But then it was well controlled, yeah.
You say stressed and at the same time you're smiling like this, like...
Because everyone will die. That's a fact.
Simple like this?
Yes. So anything you will do, like if I'm not offshore, if I'm onshore, if I'm at my house, if it's my time to die, I will die. So there is no point to be too scared. You have to go for it and challenge yourself.
I think we need to learn this attitude. It's amazing. Как твои друзья и родственники отреагировали на то, что ты выбрала такую непростую профессию?
My mom, she was like, "What? You're gonna be there? I will not be able to see you."
My colleagues from school, they said, "Oh, you're crazy."
Yes, we are.
My dad is very proud of me, and he says that I'm the man in the family. I'm not a woman. Yeah, and they
Your
do
mother is
understand.
supposed to be jealous when you say
She's also proud, I would say, because I'm the eldest and I'm doing this, and it's like an example to show to the other girls because we are 7 girls.
Wow,
So
7 girls in your
my family. So it's to show them that you can do whatever a man can do. Yeah.
Say to the girls,
You can do whatever a man can do.
My family had absolutely no idea. They were like, I don't understand, but okay.
Как тебе удается управлять своим рабочим временем и совмещать его с личной жизнью?
I work hard and I play hard. If I have like a free day or a free time, like I do whatever I love, like watching movies, or I do shopping. I love shopping, like all the women.
Yeah.
Or I go dancing. I love
Party.
to dance. Like yeah.
Maybe you can share the favorite song you prefer.
Taki taki, taki taki, taki taki rumba. Taki taki, taki rumba.
Помнишь какую-то сумасшедшую вещь, которую ты делала во время своей полевой карьеры?
Crazy trips to get to the well site because it's very remote locations. We work a lot offshore.
So, offshore is basically like you going on a rig. A rig is a platform it's a platform for oil discovery or exploration or development in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you just, from there, you have to find the oil or develop a well that is already there.
So you have to do trips with a boat to get to the platform or to the rig. I remember taking really, really bad weather. It was a very small boat. And when we went to the platform, there was no way to pick us up with the crane. And we had to jump from the boat to the platform.
How?
Yeah.
That's terrible, but this is part of the adventure.
Yeah, no, it is.
This is how you create the nice stories afterwards.
Yeah. There was no bathrooms at all on the location. You just take a shower with 3 bottles of water.
3 bottles is enough?
Yeah, no, it was not enough, but obviously that was the only thing available, and it was tough.
It sounds so similar. I worked in Siberia and the Arctic. You were enjoying so simple things,
yes.
Like just
Correct.
going to the shower or just have a nice cup of coffee,
yes, that's true.
Поделись своим лучшим воспоминанием из полевой жизни.
It's when I was on the field and the guys, they remember my National Day, 11th of August, because I said, oh, I'm from so far, but they still remember, they still care about the team.
The freshest is being offshore. And I was walking through the deck, and then I saw huge blue whales jumping and playing with each other. And I just thought there, I was like, wow, you don't see this anywhere. I
People
mean, it
just
was amazing.
Pay to see the whales, and you see it as part of your job. Что бы ты посоветовала женщинам, которые рассматривают нефтегазовую карьеру?
I would advise it for people with a certain type of skills, not only women or men specifically, but I would say that you need to be capable to adapt to new situations. There's not one day that is same as the other, not one single day. So if you like consistent job, 8 to 5, this is really not the industry, or at least the positions in operations like we are. If you are the adventurous type, this is exactly what you are probably looking for. And you will be surrounded by a lot of males. This is a male industry generally. I remember going to the jobs and then the client didn't want me there because I was a woman or because I was 19 years old at the time as well. So you need thick skin to deal with it. You will solve problems quickly. You will think about solutions. Because everything that you do in the oil and gas business is time bounded. You have a rig that is working 24 hours. But I think this will just develop your character. I think you will know yourself better faster than anybody else.
That's true.
Yeah.
Я знаю, что ты проходила курс по выживанию, курс молодого бойца, человека, который едет в офшор. Расскажи мне, каково это было?
What they do is that they simulate that the helicopter crashes with you inside, and then they evaluate how quickly you can get out of the helicopter underwater. They put you in a cabin similar to a helicopter, and then you are belted in with an immersion suit as well, a respiratory system.
My heart was like boom, boom, boom inside this helicopter.
Yes. And then, they have this cabin on a crane. Then it's
in the swimming pool.
In a swimming pool. Sometimes the swimming pool, they have systems to make really high waves to simulate the sea. And then they will drop the cabin underwater. So at this time, you are fully underwater. And then they will turn the helicopter upside down, so your head's down. There will be divers with you inside, but then you just have to wait there until they knock your shoulder, and then you're free to locate your window, unlock your belt, and then go out.
But you need to do it like super efficiently, and your brain needs to work really quick. You need to really know what
Yes,
you're
yes.
doing. Once you're upside down,
Yeah,
it was crazy for me.
I removed the belt before locating my window and I started floating inside the helicopter.
Yeah.
A lot of people get very nervous, and you see even men 40, 50 years old, and then they are scared as well. It's challenging. After you do it, you're like, wow, I did this. And then, you don't go to work on a taxi, you don't go to work on car, you go by helicopter. So.
Можешь описать свои чувства вот в тот момент, когда ты присоединилась к компании и решила сделать нефтегазовое дело делом своей жизни?
I was a bit scared, but then wearing my coverall, I was like, yes, I'm doing it. So I had to go through, like the walk around, explain the HSC, the rules, what you have to do, what you should avoid. Then you wear your coverall, then you go outside, and then you get impressed because like big equipments, pipes, heavy stuff, you get a bit scared.
The cover was sort of like, I'm a worker, and I work in this industry. I don't know, there was something about more than the hard hat, it was the coverall, I think.
Coverall feeling.
Yeah, it was the coverall feeling, and then you saw the label on the back, and then you were like, you felt proud of using it. I don't know, there was something about it that you say, I'm hardcore worker.
Насколько тяжело тебе работается в мужской индустрии?
I would say very hard because they are very demanding. They expect a lot because for them it's like, oh, you want to be in the man world, so you have to act like men,
We need to be even stronger than them
Exactly.
to make sure that we can survive in this world.
It's like you need to act like men. And something ridiculous that they told me is like, why do you put the mascara? I was like, I'm a lady. I don't forget that I'm a lady.
At least you don't put the heels
exactly.
with
I
the
was
coverall.
like, okay, I need to have like, even if I'm going to work and it's going to be dirty, if I come out, I'm very happy to do it. Like I do it because I love to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be pretty when I do it. So
Yeah, why not? If you put the coverall and hard hat, you're still a lady inside.
Yeah, exactly. So
With a strong character, that's it.
Yeah, I put my mascara and then my lip balm and then I go for it.
And then I control the well.
Yes.
Oh, you done a great
job. Of course.
It's interesting to see how every woman pushes through this,
Which skills you think helped you to overcome the difficulties you had and to become a solid, self-independent woman?
That's a tricky question. Very hard one. I would say my way to adapt quickly, because everywhere I go, like I try to adapt to the culture and to the people, and I try to find my way in. I think that's the skill I have. And the other one is that I don't take things personally.
It's a very important one because
Yeah.
I have this disadvantage in my character.
It can be hurtful, but I was like, oh, whatever. Yeah. Oh, whatever.
Что, если не нефтегаз? Есть какая-то у тебя другая компания мечты?
So for me, if not oil and gas, I would like to be entrepreneur.
Of the oil and gas company.
Yeah, for me, it's like I saw that there's a lot of things that I can do in my country to help people over there. I had a project, which was, to build a solar panel. Yeah, and I was saying to myself that it's something very needed
Yeah.
and new. Especially it's needed in my country. It's very hot, and if we can do that, we'll have like electricity and not have dark nights. And also, I would like to take care of all the childs that are on the street. If there is someone that could take care of those kids, like give them where to sleep, at least food or water, they won't think of, stealing or, doing bad things.
У меня мурашки. Your parents are still in chat?
Yeah. And my dad is like, you go for it, because he's like, you have a good heart, a big heart, and I think the kids will love it.
I come from a very, very, very humble origin. We were not really poor in Venezuela, but we were not middle class, I would say. My parents are farmers. My mother was like my role model. I mean, she said, "Oh, you will go as far as you want to be, and then if you work for it, you will earn it." And I think this is what sticks to me to this day. And the country, I think it's in a very bad situation now, but I think it also gave me the reference to value things in a different way. You're grateful for everything, basically. So it's.
That sounds inspiring, that you have a role model and she led by example, you know.
I guess more and more you see the need for diversity, and not only diversity in terms of women and men, but also internationally. That's why we have you as a Russian and me as a Venezuelan standing in Netherlands. You know, it's like, why do you put these people in these positions? It's because you want everybody to get the best of all sides. So somebody with a great vision thought, you know what, we need a mix of all of this to be able to succeed, and it was a great formula.
Oil and gas sphere, it's very challenging, but we actually can do it. That's my belief, and I think that more women need to join to this
Exactly.
Sphere. And
they shouldn't be scared. You should not be scared.
Yeah. So, which advice you actually can give to the women who are considering about their field career?
So I would say it's going to be challenging, but you need to be strong, heads up, and then run the world.
Yeah. Ксемара, можешь сказать в 3 словах девчонкам, почему они должны присоединиться к нашей нефтегазовой индустрии?
Yeah. So I would say join if you're up for the challenge, the getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of your rails, and developing all these skills and doing stuff that you never thought you would be, in a nutshell.
For me, sounds motivational.
Yeah.
Ksemara, it was really nice to have you here today. To listen to these inspirational stories, and it's kind of pulled me back to my field career time, and I really feel so close to you because you had the same exposure, kind of the same experience. So thank you for coming, thank you for discussing, and just thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a great opportunity to share experiences, you know. It's really great to see more women on this industry. I would love to. Thank you very much.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Вот такие девчонки работают в нефтянке. Не знаю, как вам, но мне кажется, это очень динамичная и очень интересная отрасль. Потому что каждый твой день, он не похож на следующий. Каждая вахта уникальна. Если у вас есть какие-то вопросы к Сиамаре...
Not one day that is same as the other.
Или к Николь. Или, может быть, ко мне. Смело задавайте в комментариях. Мы обязательно на них ответим. Если вам это интересно, подписывайтесь на канал. Здесь будет много всего яркого и познавательного. С вами была Анна Нефтяна и канал Work Talk. Увидимся с вами в следующем выпуске.